Yo, in wild international news, an unprecedented manhunt is underway in France right now. And all of it has to do with Mohamed Amra. Right? He's this French criminal known as Le Mouche, or The Fly, who escaped from custody in a deadly ambush that took place yesterday morning. An ambush that was actually captured on security cam footage, as well as videos filmed by bystanders and posted online. And so here's what we know happened. At around 11 a.m. yesterday, a black Peugeot rammed into Amra's prisoner transport vehicle as it emerged from a toll booth on a major highway about 85 miles northwest of Paris. With then hooded men with automatic weapons coming out of the vehicle and circling the van and raining bullets on it for more than 2 minutes. And as these bullets were flying, terrified riders in a passing bus threw themselves to the ground. The one passenger capturing an image of one of the gunmen out of the window. And when the bullets finally stopped, 2 prison guards were dead and 3 more were wounded. And hitting on how unprecedented this whole situation is, they were the first prison guards to be killed in the line of duty in 32 years. One was a 52-year-old father of twins, and the other was a 34-year-old who's expecting a child with his wife. But as far as The Fly, he escaped. And in the footage, you can actually see him being helped out of the vehicle by the attackers, who then set fire to the black Peugeot and flee to another vehicle waiting nearby. And according to French officials, that white car, as well as another car, were found burned in separate locations about a dozen miles from the toll booth. Now, with all this, on X, French President Emmanuel Macron called the attack a shock to us all, adding that the nation stands alongside the families, the injured, and their colleagues, and going on to say that everything's being done to find the perpetrators of this crime so that justice can be done in the name of the French people. And actually, with that, over 450 officers were reportedly mobilized in this unprecedented search of the area where the attack happened. But that obviously hasn't yielded results so far. And so the authorities seem to be expanding their search area. Today, asking Interpol to issue a red notice for Amra, which is a request made by law enforcement in one country asking their foreign counterparts to locate and arrest a suspect. Also, with how wild all this is, you're probably wondering, okay, who the hell is this guy? Right? Is he the fucking French El Chapo? Like, why is he getting this treatment? And that's had to be one of the most confusing things about all this, because he's not, or at least not that we know of. Right? Reportedly, he's 30 years old. He was born in France, and it's true that he's reportedly very well known by the police, having been convicted 13 times since he was 15 years old for offenses including extortion and assault, as well as several thefts. He's also under investigation in connection with a kidnapping and a homicide case in one city and an attempted homicide and extortion case in another city. But, all that said, in like the grand scheme of things, because there are levels to this guy apparently isn't that big of a deal. Right? Even the interior minister has said that the riskiness of this attack and the amount of preparation that appeared to have gone into planning it, they were surprising. And that's because despite his lengthy criminal record, Amra is not, quote, the biggest criminal that we have in our prisons. And going on to say the violence, the massacre, the disproportionate means used to free this person did not match what authorities knew about Amra. But presumably there's something about this guy that made this high-risk escape operation worth it. And so for now, we kind of just have to wonder why. Though with that, like most things, the whole story ties into broader issues as well. Right? Amra reportedly has ties to a gang in the southern French city of Marseille, which notably has been absolutely plagued by drug-related gang violence. And yesterday, just before his escape, a French Senate committee released its conclusion that the country has been, quote, overwhelmed by drug trafficking. And in addition to all this, Amra's escape is shedding light on working conditions in French prisons, with French prison guards actually now on strike over what they have described as a worsening climate of violence at their jobs. With a key point there being that French prisons are now holding around 77,000 inmates when there's only really room for about 60,000 of them. But with that said, there's a lot of different angles, a lot of different things happening all at once, and we're gonna have to wait to see what happens here.